Wrestlemania is just around the corner, guys. Not long to go now. Less than 6 weeks until WrestleMania 39. And we all know the true main event. We all know the match that matters. Of course, it is for the WWE Universal Undisputed Championship. It will be Roman Reigns taking on Cody Rhodes. That match will main event Night 2, Sunday night, and of course it deserves the main event Night 2. It's a no-brainer it will main event Night 2. However, speaking of Night 2, WrestleMania is now 2 nights. That means you now need 2 main events, and it looks like the second main event, the main event for Saturday, Night 1, has pretty much been confirmed, and it is going to be Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Rhea Ripley, who of course won the Women's Royal Rumble. Now, winning the Royal Rumble is supposed to take you to the main event. I totally get that. If you win the Royal Rumble, you are supposed to main event WrestleMania. However, that was the thing, that was the stipulation back in the day when we only had a men's Royal Rumble, when there was only one Royal Rumble. I don't think that stipulation should stand anymore. I don't think the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble should get to main event either Night 1 or Night 2. And if we can just be honest, women's wrestling ain't that great, and women do not deserve to main event. If there's a particular feud that deserves it, then so be it. Look, I can almost agree with the Becky Lynch-Ronda Rousey match main eventing WrestleMania 39. Of course, they added in Charlotte Flair because they have to add in Charlotte Flair. Woo! Charlotte Flair has to be there because she's Ric Flair's daughter, and Charlotte Flair must hog the title. You could almost understand that being the main event. However, apart from that match, I don't think the women are worthy of main eventing any WrestleMania, and I feel the exact same way about Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley. This is not like back in the day. Look, I know people talk about it a lot. Lita and Trish made history, but when they main evented Raw, they had such a rivalry going on at a time. Their feud was great. You felt like there was real hatred. You felt like, they needed that main event match, and they felt like they were worthy of the main event match. Back then, when Trish and Lita, and I'm not saying, look, Trish and Lita never, ever should have main evented a WrestleMania. Look, they should never, ever had main evented a pay-per-view. Completely agree. But I do think they deserved to main event that Raw. It just felt right, and it felt like the match was worthy of being the main event. It didn't feel like, here, we're just going to give them the main event because they're women. It didn't feel like that at all. It felt like their feud in that match justified going on last on Raw. But that's not what you get with WWE now. You get the whole equality thing. They're pushing women's wrestling. I mean, in some cases, they make the women more superior to the men. Anytime women get confrontational with men in wrestling these days, the women come out on top. It's disgraceful. And it now looks like it's going to be a set thing here that women get Night 1 of WrestleMania, because since the main event of 35, obviously the 36 WrestleMania, I'm not really going to count that because it was COVID. Obviously, it was behind closed doors. But if you look at WrestleMania 37, Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair had Night 2. And then if you look at WrestleMania 38, the women were supposed to have, Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair had Night 1. And then WrestleMania 38, the women, again, were supposed to have the main event Night 1. But Austin decided last minute he was going to wrestle. Therefore, Stone Cold Steve Austin has to be the main event. But it does look like now, going forward, that the women are guaranteed to have one of the nights in the WrestleMania main event, and I don't think they deserve it. I think there's so many more matches that WWE could put in the main event of that Night 1. Now, as of right now, there's only 3 confirmed matches, and 2 of them are the Women's Championship matches, but surely there will be bigger and better and more important matches added to this WrestleMania 39 card. What about Brock Lesnar? What about Cena? Cena, Austin Theory has been rumoured to be a WrestleMania match. Surely that would be a better main event You've got the Usos. They've got this long tag team title undisputed reign. They're rumoured to be facing Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Surely that bloodline feud deserves a main event over Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. I'm not excited to see Charlotte Rhea Ripley. I don't want to see it at all. Never mind the main event. If I had to give my predictions, I predict that Rhea Ripley will win the belt. And the reason for that is because Charlotte can only become a 16-time world champion if she loses the belt another 2 times. So in order for her to break or equal Ric Flair's record, she needs to lose the belt. That's why I think she's going to lose the belt at WrestleMania. If I can predict what's going to happen, I'm going to say Rhea Ripley beats Charlotte Flair. Then I think Charlotte Flair will lose in a rematch to Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania Backlash or whatever they call the pay-per-view after. Then Charlotte Flair will probably take about 3 or 4 months off, because unless she's in the title picture, she doesn't bother showing up. And then I think Charlotte Flair will probably return around SummerSlam and become a 15-time women's champion, guys. That's my early predictions for Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. Do I think this deserves to be a WrestleMania main event? No. Do I think the women deserve to main event WrestleMania? No. And it's not because they're women, it's because they suck. Let's be honest, the women aren't that good. And there's no match out there at the moment that, to me, is main event worthy. Like I said, WrestleMania 35, Ronda Rousey was on her first run, and you had Becky Lynch, who was like pretty much being pushed as the top dog. You know, Becky Lynch was hot at that time. She was, you know, running with her momentum. That match, yes, I do think that match was worthy of being a main event. I personally don't agree with it being the main event, but I do think that one was worthy of being the main event. All these other matches, no. Charlotte versus Rhea, definitely not. But it looks like, according to all the wrestling sites, according to the bookmakers, it looks like that's going to main event night 1, guys, of WrestleMania. But anyway, we'll see. If there's any more news on it, guys, we'll keep you updated here on Fog Wrestling. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. We'll catch you in the next one. And of course, until then, peace.